My 600-Pound Life shows the incredible journeys of various extremely obese people who are determined to make a difference in their lives. Despite the fact that the weight loss program is a big draw, the show's strongest feature is its ability to make us sympathize with the contestants as we learn about the causes of their weight gain. So far, we've seen some astounding transformational stories these past seasons, and in today's video, we will be looking at some of them. Let's roll! Michael Dominguez.
I feel like a monster or an animal. I'm not a human being.
Michael joined the TLC series when his peak weight was 632 pounds. His wife, Ronnie, was desperate after having cared for him for a long time and wanted their family to make some changes. Viewers were let into then Michael's heartbreaking story of how his father's angry outbursts made Michael's childhood a nightmare, and after his dad went to prison, he turned to food for comfort. He couldn't control his eating habits without his father's discipline, and his laziness got the best of him as well. As a result, he became more reliant on food than he ever had been. And by the time he was a teenager, he had ballooned to a huge 300 pounds. But the rest of the family, believing that Michael had gone too far over his weight, chose to relocate to Houston in order to be closer to Dr. Now's facility. This worked well for him, and he lost a total of 300 pounds, making him lighter than he had been since he was a teenager. Michael's episode aired about a year ago, and it appears that the Texas native's transplant has maintained his weight loss following gastric bypass surgery.
As I lose more and more weight, it gets easier to be mobile and be able to walk around.
Sarah Neely.
My knees hurt, my back hurts, my ankles sting, even my shoulders hurt.
Sarah began her journey weighing 642 pounds and required assistance in almost every aspect of her life at the age of 24. She was even suffering from a cellulitis infection and was finding it difficult to wash or move her body.
My mom has to help me with everything. About a year ago, it got to the point I couldn't shower by myself. I had to have somebody there doing it for me.
To meet with Dr. Now, she flew to Texas. Sarah, on the other hand, had found this plan extremely difficult to follow and continued falling short of her goals. But the doctor didn't give up on her. According to a follow-up episode, she progressively met her goals and qualified for surgery, resulting in a weight loss of more than 300 pounds. Sarah's weight had dropped to 197 pounds by this point, resulting in a dramatic change in her lifestyle. Neely weighed 393 pounds at the end of her episode, resulting in a total weight decrease of almost 260 pounds. It was a fantastic way to start the next chapter of her life, but things haven't been simple since the cameras went dark. Because she had a miscarriage and later went to rehab for her addiction issues, everything went south again. But based on her latest social media posts, things appear to be on the mend, and her dream of starting a family has finally come true with the birth of a beautiful baby girl.
After a rocky start, Sarah is doing very well and staying on track, so I'm really proud of her.
Randy Statham.
I'm ashamed of my body, and I know I'm getting to a point where I can't go back.
Randy Statham grabbed the hearts and minds of viewers when we first met him earlier in the season. Randy's case was particularly one of a kind because unlike many of the other participants on Dr. Now's show, he didn't gain weight solely as a result of trauma or genetic factors. Randy gained an inordinate amount of weight as a result of his football activity. He told viewers that his father, who taught kids sports, urged him to gain weight so he could use that size on the field, and he weighed 180 pounds in 6th grade. Randy continued to gain weight, and at the age of 22, he met Danielle, his future wife. However, due to reproductive issues, they got divorced, and he became resentful, leading to even more weight gain. After that, he met another woman named Ashley, with whom he had a daughter named Chloe. Randy was overjoyed to be a father, but his health began to suffer as a result of his weight. By the time he decided to seek the advice of Dr. Now, his weight had gotten out of control. He developed lymphedema as a result of the excess mass. However, after Randy began his sessions, he showed his eagerness and commitment to change. Dr. Now set a goal for him, and he was able to reach it, and he was authorized for weight loss surgery. By the end of the episode, he had lost 45% of his weight and weighed 350 pounds.
I'm happy with your progress.
I know it's just going to get better as I go.
Gideon Yeakley.
I hate my body. I mean, I feel like I am disgusting.
Gideon Yeakley was first introduced to us in 2016. At the time, the 33-year-old had swollen to 649 pounds, which meant his bodily function and capacity to complete day-to-day chores were at an all-time low. He's unable to work due to his weight, leaving him fully reliant on his fatigued wife. He desired to uproot his family in order to begin a new life with weight loss surgery and hoped for a happily ever after future. Gideon got into Dr. Now's program and began following the food and exercise guidelines that he was provided. First, Dr. Now stated that he needed to lose 50 pounds in 1 month before considering weight loss surgery. But he was only able to shed 30 pounds. But rather than being depressed, he grew more ambitious and began to work harder. He was eventually able to get the gastric bypass surgery. However, Gideon got more sleepy and sluggish than ever after the procedure. He substituted sleeping for eating, and rather than seeking a job and assisting his wife as he had promised, he stayed cozy. His wife, understandably, lost tolerance after a while and threatened to leave him. That appeared to have had an impact on him, and by the end of the show, he had shed 220 pounds and weighed only 429 pounds.
I can't believe my life now.
Ashley Reyes.
I live in this constant shame. How do I fix this?
Ashley weighed a whopping 668 pounds when she initially came on the show. The then 30-year-old, who was despondent and frustrated, introduced herself by stating she felt like a monster. She also felt bad about becoming a burden to her family, which included her husband Daniel and mother Blanca. Ashley's unhealthy junk food binging, like that of the majority of other show stars, was the product of childhood trauma. She was sexually abused when she was 12 years old, and as a result, she began eating nonstop to cope. Her weight was not only destroying her life, but also her marriage. Ashley ultimately chose to meet Dr. Now in order to change her life around, and after following his regimen, she witnessed immediate results. She swiftly shed 54 pounds, received surgery approval, and then lost another 106 pounds. But Ashley experienced psychological side effects as a result of her treatment, claiming that she was continuously sick. Dr. Now suggested she go to counseling when he couldn't detect anything wrong with her health. This is when it was discovered she'd been suffering from food deprivation. But on a positive note, she did not take her lightly as she kept on with her commitment to Dr. Now's program, and she lost a total of 300 pounds.
I'm so excited about myself. A year ago, my family had to help me do almost everything.
Before we go on to the last story moments of our list, we'd love to hear your thoughts on today's video, as well as if you have any favorite shows that you'd like to see on our channel. Brandy and Candy Dreyer.
We know that it's getting close to our final days and our bodies are just breaking down.
Twins Brandy and Candy Dreyer's story was one of the most heartbreaking. The sisters had experienced a traumatic childhood full of neglect and abuse, prompting the young girls to cling to each other and food for comfort in their turbulent lives. The woman decided to make a change at 29 years old, with a total weight of over 1,000 pounds. In order to get back on track, they visited with renowned weight loss surgeon Dr. Now. They mostly succeeded in their diet, losing a total of 40 pounds between them. Brandy's gastric bypass surgery was authorized, but Candy's EKG readings had to improve before she could go under the knife. Candy's heart stopped beating after she went in for the surgery, so Dr. Now put her in a medically induced coma to recover from the pulmonary embolism effects. Brandy was afraid she'd lose her sister, and their family was afraid they'd lose them both. Thankfully, Candy recovered completely, and the two of them worked hard to improve their lives through diet, exercise, and therapy. Both drastically slimmed down and entirely transformed their lifestyles, and they appear to be in better condition than ever before, with no signs of slowing down. Candy also disclosed she was pregnant and happily married on the show.
Brandy and I are really excited to keep doing new things together.
Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.